Hey guys, hope you've been well. Tonight I'm filming a video, a long-awaited video, probably not really awaited, but a long overdue video about why I carry a Glock 19. You'll notice in the title and what I just said, it is why I carry a Glock 19. I'm not saying you need to carry a Glock 19. I don't really care what you carry. I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments below though, so I'm looking forward to that. But the format of this video is just gonna kind of be rambling. It's gonna be like a podcast or something, so there's not gonna be a whole lot of visual stimuli other than my face, so, you know, feel free to not watch the video, just listen to it, go make dinner, do whatever, put your headphones on, and that's gonna be kind of the format of this video. If you're just interested in the meat and potatoes of this video, like if you're just interested in kind of like the reasons that I chose a Glock, then I'll put the time down here where I kind of get into that stuff. I'll put it like here somewhere. That's when I really get into like Glock specific stuff. But I'm gonna start with the background. Some of the background is relevant to like my journey to becoming a Glock guy, because I definitely didn't start out as a Glock guy. So if you're interested in the journey, which has some relevance, listen to the whole thing. But if you're just interested in the Glock thing, again, that time, feel free to skip ahead. I like to save you guys time as often as possible because not everyone likes listening to me ramble, but a lot of you guys do. So this is a good one for those of you, the guys that are looking for a long video, a long rambling video. This is probably gonna be it. I'm guessing I'm gonna talk for a while. I'm gonna start off with like some announcement type stuff that's kind of has some relevance to the channel. Then I'm gonna get into my journey to Glockdom, and then I'm gonna get into Glock stuff. So that's the format of the video. So if you wanna skip ahead or whatever, that's that. Announcement number one, people ask me a lot of times where they can get my stickers, where they can get my patches, and I sell them from time to time. I sell them along with my holsters. I make and sell holsters. I'll get into that in a little bit. And when you buy a holster, I ship a free sticker with every holster, woo-ha, and I also offer patches with stickers, or patches with holsters as well. But I haven't really historically sold patches and stickers individually because I'm a busy guy, I have a full-time job, I do this YouTube thing, I do all these holsters, and I don't have the time or energy to put into like putting little patches in envelopes and shipping them out. But I have a good friend, Gabe. He's TamFamGram on Instagram. You probably already know him if you're on Instagram. Gabe Tam, he sells stickers and patches like on the side also, but that's like his primary side venue. His primary side efforts is doing that. So I talked to him and I was like, hey, would you have any interest in selling my patches and my stickers on your site so you can handle all of the fulfillment? I'll ship you all my patches or whatever, or you get my patches made from wherever you get your high quality patches from, whatever. Maybe we get them done from the same place, I'm not sure. Anyway, he is now selling my patches and my stickers. I let him set pricing in line with all of his other stuff. So yeah, he's selling my stickers and patches. I'll put the link down there. It's gabetam.com though, and then you can find my stuff there. But I'll put the links down there. Also, every video I put links down below. I've been working to get coupon codes and stuff for you guys. So sometimes I'll throw them in videos, but they'll almost always be down in the video description below. Some of those links are affiliate links, so it costs you no extra, but it helps support the channel here. So using those links, using those coupon codes obviously is good for you. Using the links obviously is good for me. So always check those out. Next, sorry, we'll get into holsters. So this has been a long requested, long awaited thing for a lot of you. This is a holster for the Olight PL Mini. I reviewed this light. I really like this light. I'm probably gonna carry this light. So the problem here with this light, I kind of mentioned it when I did the review. Sorry, if it sees any of my face, it tries to focus on my face. So it has this quick release latch, which is kind of nice in some ways, but kind of a pain because you have to have this big channel. This channel here, it's not that bad actually. I've been wearing this holster for a while now. This is my final prototype, so I am producing these, has a nice click retention. The cool thing about this holster was I started making holsters for myself. That's how I got into making holsters like 6 or 7 years ago. I thought all the holsters out there sucked. A lot of them still do suck, and I was like, I could do this better. So I started making holsters for myself, got into making holsters for like some friends and some family. Then later started doing YouTube. People saw my holsters, wanted me to make them, so then I started making and selling holsters. That's the history of holsters, by the way. Anyway, I always make the holster that I want myself. So as a PL Mini user, I want to be able to charge this puppy without having to take my gun out. So I made this little cutaway, kind of. This channel that the light, or the charger can get down in and charge the Olight PL Mini. I like that because I don't want to take my gun out of the holster and have it chambered. I carry my gun chambered and then charge it chambered. That's weird, having a gun not in a holster that's chambered. I don't like that. So I want to be able to charge it in the holster. Yeah, so that's that. I also am making holsters for the Streamlight TLR7, which isn't even out yet, but I've also reviewed this light, also a really nice light. I don't love the controls, but the output is hard to beat. Actually, you can't beat it in this size or form factor. Anyway, this holster, nice, has your click retention, has little really minimal channels cut out for the controls, has an integrated little kind of concealment wing here. Anyway, I make and sell holsters. They're great holsters. A lot of people like my holsters. You can comment below if you have a holster and you like it. You can comment below if you hate it, though I've never heard that. I would appreciate it if you emailed me and let me know what you didn't like about it so I can make improvements. But anyway, I'm making holsters for the TLR7 now and the PL Mini now. I am making those also for the M&P, and I also get a lot of requests for the P10C. So I am currently working up some prototypes of these, accepting pre-orders for those, and yeah, they'll be shipping in a couple months probably. So yeah, those are the announcements, get it out of the way. All right, so my journey to becoming a Glock dude. So I got my first handgun. I lived in California. I was going to school out there, college out there. I went to Chico State University, if you've ever heard of it. And in Northern California, I bought my first handgun at 21. I wasn't that into guns, but I was into guns enough to always buy them when I could legally buy them. So my first handgun I've ever bought, take a guess. Comment down below right now. All right, you commented. I wonder if you got it right. My first handgun, I don't know, kind of embarrassingly, but not really, it's kind of a cool little gun, was a Walther P22, so a little 22 caliber gun. So I wasn't buying a gun really for self-defense. I didn't have a concealed carry permit. It wasn't even, at 21, it wasn't even in my mind. For reference, I'm 32 now. A lot of people probably think I'm like 21, but I'm 32, so I'm getting up there. I just have those genetics that make me look young. So anyways, 21 was my first gun. Walther P22. Walther I always thought was cool because of James Bond and stuff like that. So P22. Then I got a 1911. It was like a Taurus or something. I don't have that anymore. I still do have the P22. Then I wanted to keep it in the family. From even before I knew much about guns, I understood the concept of having multiple guns that had the same controls. So I got a P99, so has the paddle mag release, similar grip angle, controls, like I said. So I liked keeping it kind of uniform across guns. So I was into Walthers, then I got a PPS. Eventually I got a PPS and a PPQ. PPS was my first carry gun. A little single stack 9mm gun. It was the first gun I ever carried. When I got my concealed carry permit, I was out in Colorado at this time. I'd moved from California to Colorado, got my concealed carry permit, carried my Walther. I liked it. It was a good size at the time for me. Single stack. I still didn't care too much. Like, you know, I was obviously taking self-defense a little more seriously, carrying my gun every day. That's when I made my first holster back then, because there wasn't a whole lot out there for the PPS, and the holsters I did get sucked, so I started making my own. PPS, thank you PPS for getting me into holster making, I guess. Eventually, the XDS in 9 came out. At this time, I had the PPS, I had a Walther PPQ, and I did have some XDs. I had an XDM was my main like range gun, I guess my duty gun, even though I'm not duty, I'm just a complete total civilian, but you know, my bigger battle type gun, again, I don't go into battle, but we'll just call it that. So my bigger gun was an XDM. I got the XDM because, I don't know, it had 19 round capacity. I liked the features of it. I was really up until this day, trying to stay away from Glocks. I just thought they were trendy. I thought they sucked. I thought other guns had better features, and other guns do a lot of times have better features. So I had SIGs and HKs. I eventually kind of landed on the XD platform. I'm not a fan of Springfield now because of their politics, but some of their guns are okay. So I had an XDM, so I really wanted, because I really liked the XDM, I liked how it shot, I put a trigger in it. It was the first gun I put an RMR on, actually, so it was before I even got a Glock with an RMR. I got my XDM milled for an RMR, probably like one of the first ones out there. So I got into the red dot game relatively early when it was kind of becoming a thing. Having said all of that, again, I wanted synergy amongst my platform. So it was kind of my main gun that I liked was the XDM at that point. So I got an XDS when it came out. XDS replaced my PPS as a concealed carry gun. I still think it's a good appendix IWB gun because of the grip safety. A lot of people hate on grip safeties, but if you're going to have a problem with appendix carry or just a negligent or accidental discharge at all, it's usually on the reholster of the gun. The grip safety kind of alleviates a little bit of the worry there. So I still think the XDS is a great appendix carry gun. So I got it. At this point in time, my mentality was still very centric upon the, I don't know, I guess the whole concealability and comfort aspect. So I was still in the single stack mindset. So I liked single stack guns. I picked up a chocolate milk on the way home. I love chocolate milk. I'm still just a kid. I love chocolate milk. Okay, so I was still in the single stack mindset. Then cool companies out there started doing really cool things with Glocks, doing all kinds of crazy millings and serrations, and I was like, that's cool. It was the first time I was ever drawn to wanting a Glock. There was a few companies out there like Zev and some other companies. And then I was like, I need a Glock. I need a Glock because I want to trick one out. I was getting into Instagram at that point and getting into like posting cool pictures, and people were posting cool pictures. And I was like, I need a cool Glock. I need to post some cool pictures. So I bought my very, very first Glock 19. This is my gun that you see a lot, my everyday carry Glock 19, was my first Glock 19. It was my first Glock, period. It was my first Glock. It was my first everything. It was the first gun that I stippled by myself. It was the first gun that I got milled and Cerakoted. The first Glock that I put an RMR on. It was the first of a lot of things. So anyways, I got a Glock because I wanted to make a cool, tricked out Glock 19. But at that point, like I mentioned earlier, I was still in the single stack small gun mindset for concealed carry. But my Glock 19 now displaced my XDM as kind of like my range fun gun, because still at this time I was still kind of, right now I'm a big proponent of practice with what you shoot, practice with what you carry. I carry a Glock 19. It is the gun that I shoot primarily at the range. I think it's good. I think the number one gun you shoot should be your carry gun. But I still wasn't completely in that aspect. I was kind of splitting my range time between my carry gun and my Glock 19. And I said, this isn't any good. I was still kind of evolving, taking training and everything more seriously. And I was like, I'm training with my XDS and I'm training with my Glock, and the controls are similar, but they're not. And the grip angle is different. And let's bring it in. What Glock can I concealed carry that isn't a Glock 19? Because at the time I was like, Glock 19 is too big. Because I was carrying an XDS and I was like, Glock 19 is too big. I can't step up. That was before the Glock 43 was out. But the Glock 26 was out. So this was the first Glock that I concealed carried, the Glock 26. I still love this gun, man. The Glock 26 holds a special place in my heart. This one's got some milling. This is like kind of a weird looking multicam black type Cerakote job, Trijicon HD sights, stock and frame. All the internals are stock and frame. The internals are stock. Anyway, The Glock 26 got me into carrying a Glock because, again, I said the Glock 43 wasn't out yet. So it kind of bridged the gap between a small single stack and a double stack like a Glock 19. It's a small double stack. So I was like, the footprint's pretty much the same. It's a little fatter, but it kind of eased me into carrying a double stack. So the Glock 26 kind of eased me into carrying the double stack. So I forget, I carried the PPS for a couple years, the XDS for a couple years, and then the Glock 26, I think, for a year before finally I switched to the Glock 19. So then the problem here was Glock 26, I was carrying it, but it was kind of like, didn't have the full grip. I didn't have the RMR like I did on my 19. And I was like, why don't I just carry my 19? It's not that much bigger than my 26. So I went from a PPS to the XDS, they're about the same size, bumped up to the 26, which is a little fatter, and then bumped up a little more to the Glock 19, and that's where I'm at right now, carrying a Glock 19. Whew. All right, so that kind of catches us up on how we got from my first gun, the Walther P22, to my current carry gun, a Glock 19. I've owned a ton of guns in the interim, and I still do currently own a lot of handguns. You probably saw, maybe you saw, I put a video back a couple months ago comparing all of the kind of popular striker-fired polymer handguns that were kind of Glock 19 type competitors. So if you're asking me, have I tried this gun or have I tried that gun, or oh, if you shot this gun, you'd change your mind and it would make you a believer of some other platform, probably not, because I've probably shot them. Chances are I've actually owned them. So yeah, I own some guns, you know, like, oh, people will say, oh, the P320 will change your mind on the Glock. No, it didn't. The VP9 will change your mind on the Glock. No. The PPQ will change your mind on the Glock. No. The CZ P10C, which I have tricked out. I love this gun. I love it. I actually, so full disclosure, I like this gun more than my Glock 19. I like shooting this gun more than I like shooting my Glock 19. The trigger on this thing, so I did get a custom trigger. I'm not gonna go into it. All right, I'm gonna do a full video on my tricked out P10C coming up, so stay tuned for that. Maybe this gun, the M&P M2.0 Compact, the Glock Killer. Did it kill my Glock? This is a tricked out one, man, with some serrations and RMR. It's got an Apex flatty trigger. This thing is a dream. I don't like it as much as the P10C, but I like it a lot. Do I like it more than Glock 19? That's a close one. I might. But I still carry a Glock 19. And that's why you're watching this video, because you want to know why. Why do I carry a Glock 19 if I enjoy shooting some of these other guns more? So the Glock 19, if I'm handling guns, don't worry, I've cleared every gun on the table. They are safe for those Nazis out there. All right, the meat and potatoes of this video now, why a Glock 19? I'm gonna try and be somewhat structured and not bounce around too much, though I don't really have a format or bullet points or anything. So I'm gonna try and organize it in my head and we'll just go. So a lot of times people will ask, and this applies to a lot of people, I want to have one gun. I want to be able to conceal carry it. I want it to be a good gun for home defense. And I want to be able to take the occasional training course with it. And I want to enjoy shooting it at the range. I want one gun that does everything good enough. And that's a Glock 19. It does everything good enough. There are other guns in this category. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I did a whole video on all of the kind of Glock 19 type guns that were around 15 round capacity, around the same size and weight. So there's other guns that fit the bill. But the Glock 19 arguably fits it the best. And a reason that it fits it the best is its size, weight, and capacity. So this is a 15 round handgun. 15 in the mag plus 1 in the chamber. You could say it's a 16 round gun, but technically 15 rounds in the mag for those states that can have 15 rounds. Like Colorado is kind of weird because I have tons of 30 and 60 round mags and all that stuff, and they're totally legal. I'm not getting into it, but some states like Colorado have a pseudo 15 round mag limit. A lot of states have a pseudo 15 round mag limit. So 15 rounds is good for those states, obviously, but also just the size. So there is, for most body types, if you have a good holster, you can conceal a Glock 19 reasonably well. You bump up into something bigger like a Glock 17 and you start having issues with both discomfort from the barrel slide length as well as some more printing from the longer frame. So Glock 19 is kind of the sweet spot. It's a little big for some people to carry, but there's guys that are 5'5", 100 pounds out there carrying Glock 19, so it can definitely be done. But this is about the biggest gun that I personally want to carry. I don't think I'll ever go beyond a gun this size. So Glock 19, the size is, here's the kicker, it is the smallest gun, 15 rounds, smallest 15 round guns. 16 round guns, a little bigger in every dimension. The P320, a little bigger in every dimension. The CZ P10C, a little bigger in every dimension. The M&P 15 rounds, this is a brand new gun, a little bigger in every dimension. Why is this 30-some-year-old gun still the smallest 15 round gun on the market? Basically, of all the popular guns, there's probably some random gun that's 15 rounds and a little smaller than Glock, but of all the popular mainstream guns, the Glock is the smallest 15 round gun out there, period. It is the lightest 15 round gun out there, period. So you have some two winners, clear winners for a Glock, size and weight for a 15 round gun. So that's a clear winner in the Glock category for a Glock 19 if you're looking for a 15 round gun. Smallest, lightest, that's good for concealed carry if you're wondering. Another number one, can't really be beat thing for the Glock 19 is reliability. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face, oh, the XD is just as reliable, or the M&P is just as reliable. And I have no doubt a lot of those guns can be reliable. I have no doubt a lot of those guns are reliable. But it's hard to dispute that the Glock is kind of the gold standard for reliability gun. Any gun, any torture test, any reliability test, they're going to compare it to a Glock. They're going to compare it to a Glock because the Glock is the champion. Are there lemon Glocks? Sure. Are there lemon other guns? Sure. Are there standout other guns that might function flawlessly? Sure. But in general, Glock reliability is number one. So we have size, weight, number one, reliability, number one. Those are two huge, potentially the hugest factors in choosing a gun. Reliability for sure, size and weight for concealed carry gun, definitely. So size and weight for the capacity. Then we got the other clear winner for Glock is aftermarket support. I'm talking holsters. I'm talking every weapon light you get out of the box is going to fit onto a Glock. They're going to make Glock the gold standard, and if it fits other guns, cool. But they're building it for the Glock. So we have accessories, we have holsters. Any holster company is going to make them for the Glock. Are they going to make them for other guns? Yeah, but are they going to make them for the gun you're looking for? I don't know, but they are going to make them for Glocks. Every sight's going to be for a Glock. Every stippling company is going to make it for a Glock. Every milling slide company, sliding like for RMRs or serrations, they're going to do them for Glocks. Every trigger company is going to make a Glock trigger. Accessory companies, every magwell company is going to make a magwell for Glocks. Number one, no doubt, no question, number one for accessories and aftermarket stuff, Glock. So we have 4 or 5 winners now for the Glock. Reliability, size, weight, aftermarket support. I don't know what else we covered. But anyways, those are the winners. Those are the clear winners, undisputed for Glock 19. Now we get into some other stuff. Comfort in the hand. Glock's not the winner for me. Glock's not the winner probably for anybody. We have something like a VP9. We have a PPQ. We have, I mean, hell, the Grip Zone. XD Mod 2, that feels great in hand. The P320s, I don't really love it, but it feels better than the Glock probably. The M&Ps, yeah, they feel better. Pretty much most guns out there are going to feel better in the hand than a Glock 19. Is that more important than the other 4 or 5 clear winners for Glocks? I don't know, maybe for you it is. Another one is the trigger. Glock trigger is bad compared to a lot of other triggers. It's not the worst trigger, but the trigger pull, it's you know, it's okay. The reset is okay. It's audible and tactile. The over travel, you know, it's the face of it is the trigger face is probably the worst actually of any mainstream gun out there. But it works. It goes bang every time. How important is a trigger in a combat type defensive gun? The Glock is certainly good enough. Yeah, if you're trying to shoot small groupings at 50 yards, then some of these other guns will do a little bit better. Like this, I mean, the P10C with this HB Industry triggers is insane. There's no Glock trigger that's gonna touch it. The M&P M2.0 with this Apex Flatty, nothing is gonna touch it. And yeah, these are both aftermarket triggers, but the stock triggers are way better than the stock Glock. And the thing is, you could put the most expensive, nicest drop-in trigger in a Glock. It's not gonna touch any of these other triggers. It's not even gonna come close. So we have a Glock Grip, doesn't feel as good. Is it a deal breaker? For me, it's not. The trigger, totally sufficient, 100% sufficient. Is it as good as these other ones? No, but is that a deal breaker? No, it's not gonna overpower the other ones for me. So we have Grip, good enough. Trigger, good enough. All the other things, really great. So then another thing is Glocks are, I don't know the statistics off the top of my head. They're definitely the most popular gun as a whole platform in America, at least, probably the world. I think as far as like a specific gun, I think the statistic is actually that the Shield is maybe like the most sold gun in America, but Glocks as a whole, you know, all of their models, the 26, 27, 19, 34, 17, is definitely the most. So Glocks are out there. Glock does one thing. They do the Glock handgun, and they do it really well. But what I'm trying to get at is tons of law enforcements, tons of governments, tons of, you know, specialty military units. There's a lot of hands-on. There's a lot of actual real-world use of the Glocks in action, and they perform, period. They perform really well. There's most... So you go to most good, you know, higher end, know what they're doing, pistol training. You take a training course with a respected instructor. Pretty much everyone's going to be running Glocks. There's going to be a few outliers, but at least 50% of the class is going to be running Glocks. You go to some like Pistol 1 at your local range, taught by Joe Schmo. Nothing against Joe Schmo. Good on you for getting your NRA cert and all that stuff. Cool. Not bashing you. But you go to something like that kind of course, and you may have the wild balls and the 1911s and the random stuff. But people that know what they're doing, they're running Glocks for the most part. Sometimes you'll get an M&P and you'll get a couple others thrown in there, but for the most part, they'll be running Glocks. All that to say, there's tons of experienced shooters shooting Glocks. It works for them. It's gonna work for you. But also you get hands-on with them, you get experience with them, it's kind of like in the programming world, you put code out there in something like an open source platform and you get thousands of eyes on it. They're gonna be able to see the bugs, they're gonna be able to fix the bugs because there's so many people looking at it, they're gonna catch it and they're gonna make it better and they're gonna make the code better and everything is gonna benefit from having all these hands-on and eyes on it. Same in the gun world. If there's a problem with a Glock, it's gonna be found out fast and Glock is gonna fix it. That's the advantage of having a gun with a huge following is problems that can be fixed, bugs, that kind of stuff will be fixed with the Glock platform. And then we have simplicity. The disassembly, the maintenance, the field maintenance, the internals on a Glock are stupid simple. They are the simplest, if not one of the simplest internals as far as how it works of any gun out there. And simplicity is good. You don't want to overcomplicate things. Simplicity is easy to track down problems if there are any, and if there's the fewer moving parts and the fewer complications, the fewer problems there can be in the whole system. So simplicity, in our sake, is a really good thing, and Glock's simplicity is good. In, you know, kind of hand in hand with simplicity is ease of disassembly and field maintenance, field stripping. Glock's one of the easiest guns to take apart. It's one of the easiest guns to work on. It's one of the easiest guns to amateur gunsmith on, all that stuff. So simplicity, probably again, it's at the top. Easy to work on, probably again, it's at the top. So those are some other things that are huge benefits for the Glock that some of these other guns have as well, but the Glock also has and probably has it the best. And then we'll talk about price. Is it the cheapest gun out there? No, absolutely not. Is it the most expensive gun out there? No, also not. But it rides at a really nice price point, around $500. You get some of these guns, you know, they can be had for $400. Some of them go up to like $600 or $700. So it's kind of, I would say, near the middle of the road for similar quality firearms. So price point is really, really good. Again, it's not the best. There are definitely cheaper guns out there, but it's definitely not on the high end of guns. So for what you have, for how popular it is and how reliable it is and how well it works, it's a really, really well-priced gun, taking all those things into consideration. And then you have some other stuff I probably should have talked about earlier, like mags. Mags are relatively cheap. If you want to stock up on mags, like I have a ton of mags for my Glocks. I mean, dozens of mags for my Glocks, to be honest, because I have a lot of Glocks also, but I just like having a lot of mags for my primary guns. So I have tons of AR mags and I have tons of Glock mags. Glock mags are cheap. Factory mags are relatively cheap, can be had from $20 to $30 usually. You know, you get some HK mags and some CC mags and stuff like that. They bump up there in price quite a bit. So even factory Glock mags, which are pretty much perfect for most people, run really, really great, are relatively inexpensive. If you want to stack up on even more mags, you know, just to have extras or range mags or whatever, you have your Magpul P mags, which are like 10 to 15 bucks. You have a bunch of companies making aftermarket mags for Glocks. This kind of ties in, like I said, I should have mentioned it earlier, into like aftermarket support type stuff. But you have mags are super cheap. And for the most part, most of your components are going to be cheap because they're produced in mass and a lot of people buy them. So you have the aftermarket support benefits of a Glock by far, more than anything else. And really, I talked about that earlier, but I'm just talking about mags now. And while we're talking about mags, we have compatibility among other platforms. You know, Ruger, whoever just introduced their pistol carbine caliber type gun, that will accept Glock mags. The Chris Vector, that will accept Glock mags. I think some Kel-Tecs, they have some guns that will accept Glock mags. ARs, a lot of 9mm ARs or 45 or 10mm ARs, they accept Glock mags, and it's because there are so many out there. So when you're like me, I have Glock 19 for when I want to carry Glock 19. I have a Glock 17 that's kind of a dedicated home defense gun, though really my Glock 19 is always going to be my home defense gun, though I do have other Glocks kind of stashed around my house for in case for some reason I don't have a gun on me. You have the Glock 26, which, you know, I don't, because I am never in a situation where I need to really be maximum concealment. But if I did, toss the Glock 26 in, use a full-size Glock 19 backup mag. That is the other beauty of mags. You take a Glock 26 mag, can work in the 26 obviously, but you take a Glock 17 mag, this is a 17 round mag, that'll work in the 19, that'll work in the 26. That's not necessarily unique to Glocks. Obviously, you can do the same thing with an M&P Compact and a VP9SK, and the P320s do that. But Glocks, you can do it amongst all the Glocks, except for like the Glock 43, obviously, and obviously you can't interchange between the different calibers. But all the same caliber, double stack Glocks, you can switch between. But also, like I just mentioned, other guns, Chris and Kel-Tec and ARs can also use Glock mags. So for me, I'm heavily invested into the Glock platform with my array of Glocks, my customized Glocks, my little Glocks, my Vector, my AR. So it's nice because I can just have one magazine platform that I stack deep. Tons of mags, tons of Glock mags, because I can use them on so many different guns. So you have kind of ties into mags and aftermarket support, but you have cross compatibility of Glock type accessories. So yeah, all of that is a big, big, huge recipe for why you might want to run a gun, why you might want to run a Glock as your primary gun if you care about compatibility. So yeah, to answer the question, if I'm going to have one gun, Glock 19 is a great choice. But for me, it's not even necessarily that, because I obviously have more than one gun, but I still carry a Glock 19. So for me, it's compatibility. amongst everything, and reliability, obviously, and aftermarket support is huge for me. But if I didn't care about aftermarket support and I didn't care about cross compatibility, and I knew that I wanted to get one stippling service from a person that does we'll just take the P10C for example. This was done up by Danger Close Armament. The slide was done up by Jaegerworks. The trigger is an HB Industries trigger. If I was gonna get one gun and somehow I had done the research ahead of time, and I was like, I went to the range, I shot the P10C and a bunch of other guns, and I liked the P10C the most. I found a stippler that does the stipple that I want on this gun. I found the Miller that does the slide package. I can get an RMR on it. I could replace the trigger, do whatever I want to do. And this is going to be my one gun to rule them all. I would say go for it. If you're going to have one gun, the CZ P10C is pretty good. Where it's not going to be as good for this one gun thing probably is reliability. But again, you can get pretty much any gun running reliable. So you'll want to just really use and abuse your carry gun. So if you're carrying a P10C, you want to send every round through it, run it in courses, get it dirty, do whatever you need to make sure it runs well. Alternatively, I think the new Smith & Wesson M2.0 compact, this is the 15 round 4-inch barrel version. If you're just going to have one gun, this is the gun that comes closest in size, weight, and price, and reliability, and aftermarket support to a Glock 19. I think this is your next best bet. This is another good gun that if you were in that whole mindset of, I want to have just one gun, no other gun, just one gun, Glock 19 is great, P10C is pretty good, M&P, another great option, made in America too. So, it's kind of confusing. It's not super straightforward. There's not really a one-liner answer on why I carry a Glock 19 personally, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that I've thought about, obviously, since I just rambled for like 30 minutes probably on it, and there's good reasons. So, great size, great reliability, great aftermarket support, trigger works well enough. The grip I hated at first, but I'm kind of weird. I love Glock finger grooves. They fit my hands perfect. This magwell, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're looking for a concealed carry magwell, maybe I'll do a whole review on this, but this is the Magpool Enhanced Magwell. It's like 30 bucks or something. It's the cheapest magwell you're going to find pretty much. It's polymer. It's lightweight. It's super minimal, but crazy effective. The design of it is crazy effective compared to other magwells. This isn't a magwell review, but I'm saying, for me, from my hand size, again, I'm a mechanic size large. I wear a size large, so it's a size large, but really I would consider my hands to be pretty much medium size for a man. This Glock 19 with this magwell just kind of sucks everything up in here, and now, I still like gripping like a VP9 better, but stippled, fits my hand perfect, magwell. Glock 19 fits my hand really well. I forget how I got on that tangent or why, but Magpool, magwell, check it out. That's it, man. If you were in for a long rambling video, you got it. This, I don't know how long. I'm thinking it's like 40 minutes long. So, thanks for sticking with me to the end. I mean, cool. If it was a long video, I'm sorry it was so long. Some stuff I have coming up, I mentioned them in the video. The M&P, this is my tricked out M&P M2.0. Had the slide done up by Innovative Gunfighter Solutions, and RMR obviously on here. Trigger, stippling, I actually sanded this off so it's a little less aggressive on my body. I found that the stock stippling, not really stippling, the stock texture I guess was too aggressive. I'm gonna do a full video on this. Coming up soon. I'm gonna be shooting tomorrow. We're gonna try and get some B-roll or something to throw in to that video. Loving the M&P. I'll talk about how much I love the M&P on my Glock 19, why I chose a Glock 19 video. Also to come, full video on this P10C build, which I kind of outlined who did the work on this earlier already. I really like this gun too. This probably is currently my favorite gun to shoot, as far as just how it feels in the hand, how it shoots, how it handles recoil, how the trigger feels, just how it points. Really like the P10C. We'll be making holsters for that soon. Info on holsters, how to get at me, down below in the video description. So coming up, full review, detailed breakdown on my M&P M2.0, full review, detailed breakdown on the P10C. I don't know, do you want to see a dedicated magwell video? That'll be a pretty short one, I'm guessing, but I could do that. Some ARs in the works. I'm working with my friend at Fortis. I'm friends, like personal friends, longtime friends, before I was into YouTube or Instagram or anything, with the guy that owns Fortis. Great dude. I would consider him a good friend. He's working with me to build a long-range SPR type build. I mentioned it in videos before, but that's all coming together. It's off at Mad Custom right now, who does pretty much all of my Cerakote, just does awesome stuff. Mad Custom over there. He's Cerakoting that AR. It'll be back in my hands, and I'll do a video on it. I have a 9mm Angstat build that I think that's coming. It's going to come. I'm getting all the pieces for it. I'm putting a Law Tactical folder on it, Battle Arms development, pistol tube, I forget what it's called, with the gearhead works. It's going to be a cool, compact little package. Stay tuned for that. I'm getting up a new 19 done. I'm really excited about that. So like I said, this was my very first Glock 19. You've seen it in like all of my EDC videos and everything. Old Faithful, old and busted. Not busted, it still works fine, but an old and beat up gun. And I've been giving a lot of love to these other guns and these other platforms when my true love is Glock. Right after this video, my true love is Glock. So I need a new hotness 19. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but it's going to be sick. And I will obviously do a video on it. You'll obviously see stuff on that. I'm doing other stuff. I'm working with a company, Shooting Surplus. I'm going to be working with them to get kind of like demo guns out. They sell super cool high-end guns and some regular guns too. But if you're into like super cool high-end guns, Shooting Surplus, I put their link down below. They gave me an affiliate code. So I don't know, you click it and shop through it, and it doesn't cost you anything. And if you buy something, then I get a little kickback that helps support the channel. So that link's down below. Shooting Surplus, though, I kind of met them through social media a long time ago, but finally met them at SHOT Show, hung out with them, had a few beers with them. Great dudes over there. So I'm going to be working with them. They're going to be getting some cool guns out to me. And yeah, I got other stuff in the works. Too much stuff, too much rambling. Thanks for sticking with me. Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate it. I'm really humbled to have people watching my videos, to have people asking me questions, to have people valuing my input and my opinion of just a regular old dude like me. So I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Again, thank you for watching. Thanks for spending time with me. Hope you have a great night, great day, great week, great weekend. And until the next video, comment down below. Again, love hearing comments from you guys. Take 2 seconds, hit that thumbs up button, and yeah, let me know what you want videos on, though I have tons of videos planned, but I still do always like recommendations. All right, guys, take care.